Tom Thumb, the tiny boy with a giant spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone who's ever wished they were small enough to ride a squirrel like a horse, have I got a tale for you? Today, we're diving into the pocket-sized world of Tom Thumb, the boy who was no taller than your thumb but had a brain bigger than a mountain goat's ego and the courage of a lion on espresso. He may have been small, but don't underestimate him. This little guy has been swallowed by a cow, slept in a teacup, rode a horse from its ear, and still made it home in time for dinner. So buckle up. Or, in Tom's case, tie a string around your waist so you don't blow away in the wind, and get ready for a wild, weird, and wonderfully tiny adventure. Ready? Let's shrink down and begin. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage tucked between the hills and the forest, there lived a poor but kind-hearted farmer and his wife. They loved each other dearly, but there was one thing missing in their life: a child. One evening, as the stars blinked awake in the sky, the farmer looked out the window and sighed, "If only we had a child. I wouldn't even mind if he were no bigger than my thumb." His wife chuckled and said, "Careful what you wish for. The fairies might be listening." Well, guess what? They were. Not long after, the farmer's wife gave birth to a baby boy, healthy, bright-eyed, and exactly the size of a thumb. They stared at him in shock. Then they stared at each other. And then they laughed. "He's perfect," she whispered. "And look, he fits right in my shirt pocket," said the farmer proudly. They named him Tom Thumb. Now, Tom was tiny, yes, but don't let his size fool you. Inside that small body beat the heart of a bold adventurer. And oh, he could talk. Clever, quick, and cheeky. One day, Tom heard his father saying he wished someone could guide the horse to the field. "I can do it," piped up Tom, climbing up into the horse's ear. The horse trotted off, obeying Tom's tiny commands. Villagers stared. One fainted. A talking horse? Magic? Nope, it was just Tom, steering from the ear like a little charioteer. But not everyone found Tom charming. One day, two sneaky strangers spotted him and whispered, "Let's take him to the city and show him off. We'll be rich." Tom, overhearing, as tiny people often do, chuckled, "Sounds like fun. Let's see where this goes." So off he went, riding in a stranger's pocket, laughing at every bump and bounce. In the city, Tom caused mayhem. He hid in people's pies, shouted jokes from teapots, and once scared a cat into knocking over a nobleman's wig. The crowd roared with laughter until Tom vanished. Turns out, a hungry cow had gobbled him up. Inside the cow's belly, it was dark and stinky, but Tom, being Tom, started talking. "Excuse me? Anyone out there? Bit crowded in here?" The cow mooed in panic, the farmer ran over, and the vet had questions no one could answer. Eventually, Tom was freed. Don't ask how, too gross, and went home muddy but grinning. Back at home, his mother cried tears of joy. His father hugged him gently, afraid to break him. "Don't ever scare us like that again," they said. Tom, smirking, replied, "I was just stretching my legs." From that day on, Tom had adventures with his parents, traveling in a walnut shell boat, camping in old boots, and even once building a snow fort in a teacup. And no matter how far they went or how wild things got, one thing was always clear: you don't have to be big to have a big heart. And Tom? Well, he was small, but he was legendary.